Oswald, so you are the CEO of FloodGates International, but hang in there. You are also the Chief Technology Officer of WingiPay, the Executive Director of the Ubuntu Development Network, and International Director of Membership for the Federation of African Law Students. And you were recently invited to the White House. Talk about bragging rights. Please share your story.
Okay, thank you very much. So I do involve myself in a number of things. And the reason this is so is because in Africa, we've realized that the challenges we have are wicked problems. So the challenge of sanitation has to do with the issue of water supply, which is also connected to a lot of other things. The issue of education, quality of education is connected to ability to finance the infrastructure for schools, teachers, quality of teaching and all that. So one thing that we realized when we set out to do business or to develop solutions for Africa is that you can't just focus on one thing, because the things are so interconnected, they are so interrelated that you end up having to solve 4 different problems to be able to finalize the solution for one. And so this is why, as African youth, we always consider every specific location or every specific sector that we can find ourselves in. We, FloodGates, are a digital technology company who are dedicated to solving some of Africa's biggest challenges. And one of the main things that we are focused on at the moment is providing digital identity services to power the infrastructure and the solutions that we have. Now, the World Bank has certain statistics. They say about 1 billion people worldwide have no form of verifiable identity. And even though this is worldwide, 500 million people out of this 1 billion are in Africa. So Africa has a unique challenge with us being undocumented and being unable to track people. And I don't mean tracking in terms of tracking their location, but tracking the kind of transactions that they do to be able to trust them to provide services. And McKinsey has a special statistic that says that countries can unlock up to 13% GDP by implementing digital identity alone. So this particular sector is what we have decided to focus on, to ensure that we provide a solution that allows for people to be able to identify themselves, verify themselves, to promote trust in the ecosystem. And why this is particularly important to the AFCFTA and trade worldwide is that we are developing a framework and a protocol to allow for us to transact between countries. But one of the biggest challenges in Africa is due to the lack of verifiable identity is that there is about 300% increase in identity fraud and fraud in business every year. And without this, we are going to be creating a large market which is going to have a lot of fraud being involved. So how do I, as a person in Ghana, trading with someone in Africa, how will I be able to verify who I'm dealing with, verify the business I'm dealing with, and understand that I can trust the information that they're giving to us? So this is what we are focused on. And because of the nature of our solution, providing access, inclusion, and representation to many people through a decentralized technology, we were awarded the #1 democracy affirming startup in Africa, and then the top 5 worldwide by the US Department of State, the Microsoft and University, for which we were invited to the White House, because this was also a special initiative by President Biden of the United States. So the work that we are doing and is particularly very important to the next stage of Africa's future, which is an interconnected future for Africa, which is a future in which a person in Kenya can pick up a phone or go on the internet and interact with an organization or a person in Senegal and fully trust that the systems that they are dealing with is able to uphold and provide trust for the transactions they are doing, which would ensure that we are able to achieve the benefits of the AFCFTA and for these conferences that we are here for. So let me just add that I am here on the ticket of the African Union Youth Startup Pavilion, which is just across the road from here. And I would urge that every single person should just take 5 minutes to visit that pavilion and then see the many kinds of solutions that African youth from across the continent are developing and are providing to some of the solutions that we have, and find a way to support these solutions so that we can be able to pass on the mandates to the next generation when it's time for that to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Oswald, and I'm sure the audience and all of us will be very willing and glad to come and visit the stand.